Look at your hands. Just for a moment. Look at your hands. Now, think about the biggest problem you are facing right now. The one that keeps you up at night. The one that when you think about it feels less like a challenge and more like a wall, dead end, an impossibility. We all have one. It's that situation where the math doesn't add up. It's that relationship that feels irreparably broken. It's that dream that has been buried so deep under disappointment. You're not sure you could even find the grave, let alone dig it up. And you've tried everything, haven't you? You've used your skills. You've called in favors. You've worked harder, smarter, longer, and yet nothing. The rock remains a rock, hard, immovable, silent, and that's when the question comes. The question that echoes through every human heart in every generation. The question that rises from the parched throat of desperation: is God even with me? And if he is, can he really provide for me here? This isn't just a question from a Sunday school story. This is the question of your life. And the answer lies in one of the most stunning stories ever told. The story of water from a rock. Let's go there. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine it. You're not in a comfortable chair anymore. You're in a desert. The sun is a hammer. The wind is a rasp. You are one of 2 million people who have just walked out of Egypt. You've seen miracles. You saw the plagues. You walked through the split open heart of the Red Sea on dry ground. That was last month. Today you are thirsty. Not just a little thirsty. You are dying of thirst. Your lips are cracked. Your children are crying. The animals are lowing in distress. The water skins are empty. And there, on the horizon, is not a well, not an oasis, but a rock. A massive, unforgiving boulder at a place called Rephidim. This is the feeling. This is the feeling of the impossible. You have a promise from God, a land flowing with milk and honey. But right now, you'd settle for a single cup of water. The gap between the promise and your present reality is as vast and dry as the desert itself. And what do the people do? They do what we all do when the pressure mounts. They turn on the leader. They turn on Moses. And in their anger, they turn on God. Is the Lord among us or not? That is the core question. In your desert, in your moment of absolute need, the real enemy is the question that plants a seed of doubt. Has God abandoned me? Is he really here in this dead-end job? In this failing marriage? In this hospital room? In this financial crisis? The people are ready to stone Moses. The situation is volatile. It's hopeless. It's a rock. And from a human perspective, a rock is the symbol of the problem. It's the obstacle. It's the thing that stands in your way. But here's the first secret we have to unlock today. What you see as the obstacle, God sees as the opportunity. Moses, terrified and frustrated, cries out to God. And God's answer is bizarre. It's illogical. It flies in the face of everything we know about survival. God says to Moses, "Take the staff and go. I will stand there before you by the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out of it for the people to drink." Think about that. In the natural world, you don't get water from a rock. You get dust. You get pain. You get a broken hand. If you want water, you dig a well. You look for a spring. You don't attack the hardest thing in your environment. But God's provision is not natural. It is supernatural, and it requires a supernatural act. He tells Moses to use the staff, not just any stick. This is the staff that became a snake before Pharaoh. This is the staff that stretched over the Red Sea. This is the staff of God's authority. Represents the power of God working through a yielded human being. God is saying, Moses, take what I have already given you, the symbol of my power and your calling, and use it on the problem. What is your staff? What has God placed in your hand? Is it a skill? Is it a word of encouragement you've been holding back? Is it a prayer you've stopped praying? Is it a first step you've been too afraid to take? We look for complex solutions, for a 12-step program, for a magic pill. But often, God's command is simple, and it requires one thing: faith-filled, illogical action. He doesn't tell Moses to reason with the rock. He doesn't tell him to study the rock. Doesn't tell him to wait for the rock to change. Tells him to strike it. The rock didn't change, it was still a rock. But Moses' obedience released a power that the rock could not contain. So picture it. Moses, exhausted, probably feeling as dry as the desert around him, lifts that staff. The eyes of 2 million people are on him. Some are sneering, some are crying, all are desperate. He raises the staff, and in one act of defiant, reckless obedience, he brings it down on the rock, and the rock splits open. From the heart of that hard, impossible, immovable object comes a gush of cool, clear, life-giving water. It doesn't trickle, it doesn't drip, it flows. It becomes a river in the desert. In that moment, the question, is the Lord among us or not, is answered with a resounding, splashing, life-saving yes. This is your moment. This is the turning point in your story. The rock you are facing right now, that thing you've been walking around, is complaining about, staring at, fearing is not there to stop you. It is there to showcase the glory of God in your life. Your rock is a reservoir, just filled to the brim with the provision you need, but it will never release it until you strike it in faith. Now hold on, because the story gets even deeper. Centuries later, the Apostle Paul, reflecting on this moment, gives us a revelation that changes everything. He says, in 1 Corinthians 10-4, they drank from the spiritual rock that accompanied them, and that rock was Christ. The rock wasn't just a symbol, the rock was Him. Jesus. Do you see it? The people of Israel were dying of thirst in the desert, and the source of living water was standing right in front of them, disguised as a problem. They saw a rock. God saw His Son. And what happened to that rock? It was struck. It was smitten. It was broken open. This is the gospel. This is the core of our hope. The rock of our salvation, Jesus Christ, was struck down on a hill called Calvary. He was beaten. He was pierced. He was broken open. And from His side, what came out? Blood and water, the water of life, the cleansing of sin, the promise of eternity, God's ultimate provision for our ultimate problem, sin, and death came through the ultimate act of what looked like defeat. The cross looked like a rock, a dead end, but it was the very source of life for all humanity. So, what does this mean for you, right here, right now? It means that the provision for your impossible situation has already been made. The water is already in the rock. Jesus was struck so that you could have access to a never-ending supply of grace, strength, wisdom, and provision. But you have to strike the rock. You have to take the staff of God's word, the staff of prayer, the staff of obedient action, and you have to bring it down on that problem. Stop walking around it. Stop complaining about it. Stop letting it define your life. Lift your staff. Lift your faith and strike. Don't be surprised if the first thing you see is dust. Keep striking, because underneath that hard exterior, God has stored up a river of blessing for you. The water is there. Provision is there. The miracle is there, hidden inside the impossibility. Your rock is not your enemy. It is your opportunity. It is the place where the world will see that your God is real. It is the place where your thirst will be quenched forever. The question is not, is God among us? The question is, will you trust the rock? Lift your staff. The water's coming.